Washingtonians, adventurers, and storytellers. Welcome to What's Your Washington, the podcast that's all about discovering hidden gems, local lore, and the unique perspectives that make Washington State such an incredible place to call home. In every episode, I'll connect with people from all walks of life, strangers, locals, and travelers, to ask 3 thought-provoking questions. Their answers will lead us to unexpected places, secret hiking trails, unforgettable encounters, and the quirky traditions that define life in Washington. So, what's your Washington? Hit that subscribe button on your favorite podcast player and join me as we uncover the heart and soul of our state, one story at a time. What's Your Washington, the podcast that brings Washingtonian stories to life. Jennifer lives in Ellensburg. I've got 3 questions for you for What's Your Washington, the Ellensburg edition. All right? So what's your favorite memory from the Ellensburg Rodeo, or have you managed to avoid it every year?
So it's interesting. We have and haven't managed to avoid the rodeo. We've been living here since 2004. Our neighbors' kids were major high school and college rodeo people. In fact, our neighbor's son is still a professional rodeo person. So every year, many of the top rodeo people come and camp out at our neighbor's property. So although I've never seen anything more than a little bit of the free slack at the rodeo, every year we can watch the rodeo folks practicing in our neighbor's pasture, and they let one of the rodeo people put their very, very expensive fancy rodeo horses in our front pasture, making us look really classy.
All right. What's a quirky, unusual Ellensburg factoid that people may not know about?
So we are really insignificant in chimpanzees. The first chimpanzee-human conversations took place here in Ellensburg. There was a group studying using sign language to communicate with a chimp, and we were successful with that. We no longer have the program because when the original group of chimpanzees died, it was determined that it wasn't really humane to keep chimpanzees in that sort of environment. So they tore down the building and turned it into a dorm. We also have a chimpanzee sanctuary just north of town where a number of chimpanzees who are lab animals came. And a good story with that, I was talking to a DNR firefighter. He was driving up from Yakima to fight a fire that had burst out near the chimpanzee sanctuary, and he was listening to the air command on it, and the pilots were yelling, "There's chimps in there, there's apes in the trees." They called them apes, not chimps, but they were trying to figure out why there were apes in the trees as they were dropping water over this area.
Okay. All right. Last question. So what's something that you think Ellensburg does better than anywhere else in the state?
So Ellensburg's a great place to live, but where we're really unique is when you think of transportation, we're the center of the state. Wenatchee is the geographic center, but we are really the transportation center. So the only place in Washington State that's not hideously far from anywhere else in Washington State. We can get anywhere in a day if we have to. And so that's kind of our unique identity, that we are that center point.
Awesome. Well, Jennifer, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with me for What's Your Washington?
Thank you.
That's a wrap for this episode of What's Your Washington. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to subscribe so you never miss one. Have a great Washington story? Reach out. I'd love to hear it. And until next time, keep exploring.